Hello, and welcome to One Cool Thing, PC Mag's daily show where we color you a virtual pizza.
Pizza Mag.
Yes, Pizza Mag. I actually had, while we wait for the viewers to come join us on Facebook, I will tell you that one time I was talking to someone about PC Mag and they thought it was Pizza Mag, and they thought it was a great idea for a magazine.
So at one point, I was going to a trade show in Las Vegas, and my trade show was in part of the Las Vegas Convention Center, and in a different part of the Las Vegas Convention Center that same day was the pizza trade show.
I hope there were more people there than there were wherever you were going.
Well, my thing was cell phones, so
Okay.
but the pizza trade show, like there were pizza smells coming off that trade show floor because all of the like pizza oven manufacturers were demoing making pizza.
So they were actually doing it.
They were actually making pizza on the floor everywhere for all of these like pizzeria owners to test and possibly buy their equipment.
Well, we are not going to be doing that today because even if we would do it, you can't smell it. Still though, thank you for joining us here at Pizza Mag live stream on Facebook, or if you're joining us later on YouTube, check back tomorrow at 10 a.m. where we will have another cool thing for you on Facebook Live. And in the meantime, definitely write comments about anything you want to ask us. But specifically, we are talking about today the Samsung Galaxy Tab Active2. And you may be familiar with the Galaxy Tab, but this is actually a slightly ruggedized version of their Android tablet. I'm Tom Brandt, this is Sasha Segan, and we would like to tell you all about it.
And bringing up the topic of pizzerias actually is relevant to this product because the Samsung Galaxy Tab Active2 is designed for, I wouldn't say corporate, but business installations. It's designed for situations where you need this ruggedness, you need waterproofing. You want this pen so that you can take orders. It is really good for point of sale systems. There's a pop port on the bottom because it's also designed to be used in public safety with car mounts for police cars, that sort of thing. So this is Samsung's kind of corporate tablet product. But when I say corporate, that goes all the way down to small businesses. That goes all the way down to, you know, you run an ice cream stand. Sure. This functions as your point of sale system.
Yeah, if you need something to power your Square reader, you could go with an iPad. But if you're in a high, commotion environment where the iPad might get damaged, this is an alternative to that.
Exactly, and so that explains why I feel like we're going to get a lot of criticism, or we're trying to head off the criticism of why the heck is Samsung charging $419 for a mid-range Android tablet?
Yes, MSRP here, $419.
And as we go through the specs, you'll find that it is very much a mid-range Android tablet. But what you're getting is the ruggedization, the waterproofing, the pop port for various cradles, docks, mass charging stations, car mounts, and the general focus on corporate use.
So again, this is the Samsung Galaxy Tab Active2, and we would like to take your questions. And while you come up with them, let's talk more about just how rugged this thing is.
Yeah. So the Tab Active2 is IP68. You can dunk it, you can drop it. We did 5 4-foot drops, and as you can see, it is not even slightly damaged.
Looks very good.
We left it at the bottom of a bucket of cold water for half an hour. The only problem there is that the power port gets wet, and if you want to recharge it within the next hour, you kind of have to shoot some air in there to get the droplets of water out of it.
So what they've done is they've essentially waterproofed the port, but you can't use it while it's wet.
Exactly.
That's
so now,
a bit inconvenient.
The tab comes with this big rubbery case, but the tab itself is slimmer. Now this is still waterproof,
right?
And this is still rugged, but it's less rugged than if it's in the big case. And the big case has the holder for the S Pen. And now this is a chunkier S Pen than you're used to from most devices, because another use for this is in logistics warehouses, transportation type organizations, where people are often wearing gloves.
And you can't tap on the screen.
Well, actually, this has a glove mode.
Oh, okay.
So you can tap on the screen with gloves if you turn on the glove mode, another
Right.
one of those enterprise-friendly features.
Right.
But it's a bigger, chunkier pen in case people wearing larger gloves want to use it and they want a larger object to grip. So you can see how it's designed all around for these specific sets of uses.
Now, is that an active pen, or does it have a battery, or how does that work?
It doesn't have a battery,
No
but it
battery,
is
okay.
Samsung's S Pen technology,
Oh,
which
yes.
which is an active pen. It is better than a capacitive pen. It is pressure sensitive. It does have finger and palm rejection. So you have, and it's compatible with all Samsung S Pen compatible applications.
Okay.
So now other specs here.
Yeah.
We have a 1280 by 800 LCD screen. We have a 5 megapixel camera on the front, 8 megapixel camera on the back, and you notice it has a relatively powerful looking flash. The camera isn't so great, but the flash is very bright. And once again, this is for you taking pictures of barcodes, pictures of 2D barcodes, pictures of objects in indoor or warehouse circumstances so that you can record them in whatever your corporate application is.
Now, is there also a front-facing webcam as well?
There is a 5 megapixel camera on the
Okay.
front. Inside you have 3 gigs of RAM. I believe it is 32 gigs of storage. Let me double check that. Let me double check that. Yeah, storage. I was just looking at it, in fact. Oh no, sorry, 16 gigs of storage.
But can it be expandable? Is there an
Yeah,
SD
there's a
card
micro
slot?
SD card slot,
Okay.
but it's under the it is under the very difficult to remove back, so it's you permanently install it essentially. But yeah, 16 gigs of built-in storage, so not very much.
Now,
but you're not running a wide range of applications on this.
Right.
Typically, you are running your single mission critical enterprise application all the time.
Right, and if you or like a point of sale app or whatever you're doing, the one thing that seems like would be great on here is LTE connectivity.
Yeah, and so at the 419 version is dual band Wi-Fi. There is, for an extra $100, you can get LTE connectivity.
Okay.
Works
so
on
$519.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It is unlocked. It'll work on the AT&T and T-Mobile networks. Not great, not the greatest LTE in the world.
Yeah.
Doesn't have all the bands you're looking for, but you know what? It'll do fine.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
so if you are using this in an ambulance or something in a city where you're going to have an okay service everywhere, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Let's go ahead and take some questions.
Is there a headphone jack?
Yes, there is definitely a headphone jack here with the single speaker
Oh yeah, so we have
Yep.
so power, speaker port,
and headphone.
and headphone on the bottom.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then the power button and the volume is on the
Yep.
side.
And one thing I'd like to note are these very physical, clicky home and back buttons. Nothing virtual
Right.
here. And that is once again so people with gloves, people who are in very busy circumstances can push these without having to rely on capacitive buttons.
And those are also, and they've waterproofed. I mean, obviously the whole thing's waterproof, so there's nothing that's going to get inside there.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, I soaked it. It's
hopefully.
soakable.
Yeah, we actually do have a photo of one of our water tests here in the sink. Basically, you can dunk it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so the other question that I have is, why would you buy an Android-powered tablet over an iPad for something like point of sale?
I mean, in this case,
Ooh, we're
yeah,
taking-
check this
okay,
out.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
There's the answer to my question.
So one reason you would buy this is because it has a removable battery and a micro SD card slot.
Okay.
And as you see, I peeled off the back,
Right.
and you see this nice big removable battery.
That is a massive battery.
Yeah, it's a massive battery. I mean, it runs it depends on what you're doing. If you're at half brightness and you're running it basically as a point of sale system or an order taking system, it will go all day.
Yeah.
In our really intense battery test, it went for 6 hours, but that is longer than an iPad.
Sure.
And so you can have a couple of these batteries around. You can swap batteries in a way you can't with an iPad. You can add storage in a way you can't with an iPad. And also, of course, the iPads are notoriously not rugged. iPads break easily.
Sure. Let's take another question.
How much do, say, extra batteries for that cost, do you think? And how do you charge them? Do you need them to be actually within the tablet to get them charged up?
So I'm not sure exactly how much extra batteries cost specifically. I bet they're around $40-50. That's typically how much these kinds of batteries cost. And as I said, there are a bunch of third-party cradles and chargers out there for this series. So if you go and you look at, there was one company I was looking at that had some pop.
Yeah, they have a vehicle cradle.
Portsmouth or RAM. Let me show you this charging cradle, for instance, that can charge 5 of these devices.
Right. So, but essentially, what you might need to do is buy more backup devices instead of being able to charge the batteries.
Yeah. The answer. Well, the answer is I don't know if there is a cradle to charge specifically only the battery, but it's worth looking at some of these accessory manufacturers.
Now, we compared this to an iPad, but the other big category that's much bigger than iPads, especially for some of these mission critical applications, are ruggedized Windows tablets, which cost on the order of $2,000 and up.
And then,
so what's the difference there?
Well, the big difference there is the question of, can it run your application? I mean, that's the thing. Ruggedized the big problem with Android tablets, and this has always been the problem with Android tablets, are that there aren't a lot of tablet-oriented applications for Android, and that a lot of the, especially enterprise apps out there, will come to Windows, they will come to iOS, and then the manufacturer will not make an Android version.
Right.
So that is the big question. And the reason a lot of enterprises feel that they have to buy Windows tablets is because the software that they're looking for is available only for Windows. You will find this very often, especially in scientific fields. In the energy industry, in where you need scientific and technical applications, those are often available only on Windows, and that's why these Windows rugged tablet manufacturers feel that they can sell their devices for $2,000-4,000, because the application manufacturers for these mission critical applications haven't made them for cheaper devices.
Sure, and I will say also that many of the specific ruggedized Windows tablets have a lot more ruggedization. They've got the covers on the ports, extreme temperature.
Well, this is not.
Things like that.
This is not meant to be, tumbled off of an oil rig onto rocks 100 feet below. The way some of the, I've seen some of the Windows tablets essentially come in their own briefcase. Right.
Yeah, they're extremely sturdy, and the big difference here also is this screen is very similar to what you'd expect on any other tablet. With it's glossy touch screen.
You probably want to get a screen protector for it.
And
honestly.
you'd probably need to put a screen protector. One of the Windows tablets that we looked at recently from Dell that was ruggedized, it was essentially the same material that you'd find on like a commercial touch screen. So it's very different.
But where you're seeing the opportunity for this, and where you don't see a lot of these ruggedized Windows tablets, are in places like restaurants.
Yeah, you need a little bit of ruggedization.
Hospitality.
Right.
Some hospital uses where other hospital uses involve the more rugged Windows tablets, because this is $419 as opposed to $2,000.
Sure. Let's take another question.
Can it support an external keyboard?
The Android does support Bluetooth keyboards, so there is no hardware keyboard connector.
Right here, no?
Well, I do not believe there is a pop-up keyboard for this. Okay, but Android supports Bluetooth keyboards.
Right. So you can make a separate one that's not connected.
Yeah. And I imagine if you could find a USB-C dock to plug into here, and this is just my speculating. Android has support for external keyboards and mice. It's just a question of how you plug it in.
Right.
So if there's a way to get it in through the USB-C port, that might be a way, but the way most people use keyboards and mice with Android devices is Bluetooth. There's a really nice Logitech multi-device keyboard.
Indeed, there is, and you can put it in there. You can
yeah,
put it,
yeah.
You can
let
slot
me
that in.
find that. Let
Basically,
me find that for you.
Yeah,
It's, 'cause
Logitech
it's such a cool device.
has one. They've actually made a couple different ones over the years, but basically,
I'm thinking of the K480.
yeah, that one's good.
So
you can essentially put the keyboard, or you can lay the keyboard on your desk in that little green area there.
yeah, this
And then you
Logitech
put the
K480 is so nice because it has this slot for the device, and you just plop your device in there, and then
Now check the specs though before you buy that, because this does have a fairly wide bumper here, so it might not fit. But
Let's take another question.
A couple questions about the pen. One, how sensitive is it, and does it come with the $420?
It comes with the pen. Yes, the tablet
And the
comes
case.
with the pen
This is
and
all-
the rubberized case, so that's good. It is very sensitive. It is a Samsung S Pen, and that is a well-known technology. As you can see, if I do my dot test, it always gets the dots.
so why is
Sometimes it's a little too sensitive in that it's not stopping when I pick it up, but that can be tuned in settings. But it's a very sensitive pen.
So why is it then that there aren't more of these pens out there that mimic an active pen with a battery, but that don't need a battery? I guess there are. Wacom has the same similar technology.
I actually
guess there
think
are a
this
lot.
is Wacom technology
Okay.
that Samsung has licensed.
Yeah.
So there are a lot. It's
So-
just Wacom technology.
So there, what it is doing then, if it is Wacom, it's actually sending. There's a transistor in the screen, and it's sending a very slight power signal to the pen, so it knows where it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's take another question.
Is there a docking station that can be connected to a TV or monitor to convert it into a PC with attached keyboard and mouse?
This will not work with the Samsung DeX station, which is the station that Samsung will do that with.
Is that for a home theater thing or for just
No.
a big display?
So the Samsung DeX station, which is for the Galaxy S8 and Galaxy S9 series, the Samsung DeX station will basically convert your Samsung Galaxy S8 or S8 Note 8 or S9 device into a desktop PC.
Okay.
It's for primarily for mobile workers who are hot desking, so that in their office space there is a monitor and a keyboard and just a dock, and they hot desk their device into the dock at any time. This does not work with DeX.
And so for that, actually, the big thing there is the power of this tablet is less than the S8. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So if you're using this in that mode, you're not going to be necessarily getting a lot of performance out of it. Versus the phone.
Yeah, this is using a 1.6 gigahertz, slightly older Samsung Exynos processor, which is considerably less powerful than the Snapdragon 845 that's in the S9.
Let's take another question.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. So you should buy this tablet if you want something that's a bit more rugged than your average iPad or Amazon Fire or any other Android tablet. But be aware that there are some limitations to it.
Yes. But yeah, if you're a small business owner and the point of sale software or order taking software or other software that you need runs on Android, and you don't feel like dropping and breaking an iPad a lot, this looks like a good solution for you.
So it is the Samsung Galaxy Tab
Active2.
which is $419 or an extra $100 for the LTE version. We gave it a 3.5-star rating, I believe. So
it's a good product, but for a niche market.
Yeah. Check out the full review at PCMag.com and join us again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time for yet another one cool thing. Thanks very much for watching.